Can you trigger a subagent? So VS Code can't trigger a subagent. Automatically, you have to select it, which is kind of interesting. Excuse me. Yeah, more of that. That one is surprising. So for anyone who hasn't seen Semfora before, it is essentially a static code analysis tool for AI or for air gap situations, like SRE is reviewing code that may have failed within CI in a relatively sensitive environment. So we offer tons of tooling, both for as an MCP server and just a normal CLI for auditing code, finding code paths. We have the ability to trace variable usage across an entire application, both reads and writes, and which functions they call from and to, and that is all compressed down to tune format for AI usage, or it can be output to JSON with, I think we can expose the JSON standard responses for all these things still, but it is a standardized response, but as well as plain text for people to just read. What I'm doing here is, you guys will see me, for one, I need to update the website with the latest changes for v0.7.7. That has a number of tooling updates, in addition to a ton of new lint tooling, which I can actually show off here because I was testing it out. It should be quality. On the quality audit, I'm still getting used to the way that that VS Code handles its tooling, but did it just stop doing anything? What? Did you stop doing what you were doing? I actually don't know why. Let me go into VS Code. Where do we have the tools saved? In VS Code here, right? Oh, these are saved in .github. Why? They're listed here. They're just not actually running anything. That's so weird. We will figure that out soon, but for now, let me look at the quality. We have the linting tools in there. What is it complaining about? So obviously I switched to the normal agent, and it is running the tools, but it's not running the linter still. We know this works with Claude, but every time we make a change like this, the amount of testing that goes in to make sure that we run properly on Codex, Claude, Cursor, VS Code, etc. No, we don't want to run lint. Can I not see the linting tool? Semfora Engine. Oh, lint wasn't accepted. Weird. try that. I'll figure out why these aren't running soon. I don't know a ton about how VS Code uses subagents. I think that's relatively new functionality. Okay, so this is working. It is being compressed properly, which is nice. The quality agent should index, get context, get overview, search, validate, get callers, get symbol, and then lint, which would, which would essentially get this type of output, which is how many files did it run through, how many errors did it find, is there anything highly complex, are there any quality issues, etc. It should be able to run all of this locally without having any external dependencies, aside from things that you already have installed. If you've seen anything about Semfora before, you already know we do the duplicate code clusters. This, as you can see, already filters out things like common library patterns. However, this use prefers reduced motion, I assume didn't get caught, or rather didn't get caught by the standard like dedupe pass through, which would say, hey, we already know that this hook exists, so using it over and over again actually isn't a problem. I doubt. Now we'll just find out. Let's see if there's two instantiations of this. There is. Ooh, it actually found a duplicate code. Exact match duplicate code too. Okay, so that's a problem that I didn't know existed. Awesome. Great. Good to know. Well, found an issue, our code quality issue with my own code. Yeah, the UI ones, we're not worried about the complexity. Again, this is all shadcn, so complexity is not my highest concern. That actually leads me to another potential feature here, which we should probably add, which is custom ignores for Semfora, because it's looking at shadcn and saying that that code should be broken up a little bit. Same with the routes. These are accurately tracked as tan stack pages, but it is saying that there's too many exit nodes on there, which implies that the complexity is too high, even if it might not be. Yeah, let's see if we can fix the... well, first things first, we're going to use the PM service right now. We have a list of all of our new commands, which is quite a lot. One second, I'm just making sure that we have the full list of MCP commands as well. Yep. Okay, first things first, our actual task for today is updating the docs to properly contain the 0.7.7 beta and all of its CLI commands and MCP tools. So first, can you contain the new list of commands We have a lot of changed commands. We only have a couple of new ones specifically around the linting, but we want to make sure that we're always up to date. How I plan on handling this in the future actually is I want to get a man page set up, and then I want to generate the docs automatically from that man page, but we're not there yet. I have a bunch of other shit to do first around the CLI first. So we have our PM service that created the tickets for updating all of this, which would be, yeah, updating for 0.7.7. Awesome. All right, this is actually the first time that I've used the PM MCP in addition to edits with VS Code. So let's see how well it can find the docs code. A little upset that it defaulted to normal search and file read when Semfora tools are right there, but I'll get to adding additional rules myself. Again, I don't use the MCP tools with VS Code that often. This is kind of a test. What's your plan, Stan? I would have liked for it to tell me what it was planning on doing first. That looks right. Again, I would love to generate this from a man page, just so I didn't have to keep it up to date with JSON configs. Or, you know, honestly, just so I could update it in one place. I would like, because I can auto-generate the man page from the cargo export or cargo docs, right? And having that pull automatically, maybe on build. I'm not sure. But. Yeah, this is doing a fine job. It did get all of the commands out. I don't love that it's not super clear about what it's thinking as it's going. It just says working. Working on what? The big thing here is making sure that we have the new linting tools here. Yeah, security was removed in this one. That is moving entirely over to the CVE project, which is going to be corporate only. And linting is taking its place here. Only because the CVE stuff takes so much compute power to process. I got through a couple thousand global CVE events, but doing them for 26 languages and making sure they actually work, and like generating examples so we can detect when those things actually happen in code. That is something that we'll have to wait for investor money, because it takes a long time. As you can imagine, the CVE stuff, since we are not only doing like, oh, you're on this version of Next.js, I have this problem, or you have this one HTML flag on, so you might have a problem. It's saying like, oh no, you have like straight up exposed, like this is obviously a connection to your database, and you've exposed that through a server function to your client code, and that is a security issue. Like, we can detect that stuff more than I think any other tool on the market can. But imagine doing that for every single language. And again, we're using AI to generate the examples for all of these things, and then we have to audit them to make sure that they're accurate. And for 26 languages and a dozen libraries for each language, which each have a dozen different 100 different security CVEs in code, not just in version, because we do version checking as well. That is incredibly expensive time-wise, and again, that will be much easier once we have investor money. Cool. Have we? Did you update the, yep, local ticket update, cool. Let's go fix those as well. Again, this is the first time I've really ran through the tool usage with VS Code, both for the PM and the engine. But yeah, we're gonna see how it works. So I guess if we're hiding CVE for now, until we get a little bit of money to do the legwork there, should I remove it from the website, is the question. And that is probably the biggest corporate feature, being able to run those CVE tests without uploading code off-site anywhere. Like, that was primarily a corporate feature. So if I get rid of that, do I just hide the entire pricing structure off the website as well? Maybe so. The primary tooling for users is going to be Semfora Engine, which is closed source, the PM, which is open source, and the Graph, which is open source, and a couple of other tools. None of those are paid products, though. So I could hide the pricing structure for now while we're building up users. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, first things first, get these docs updated, get the website pushed up, and yeah. Anyways, you can see that it ran the lint, found 2 linter warnings. This is what the compression looks like. So it doesn't return JSON out. It will return as collapsed as it can be. If they're very disparate errors, the compression is not going to be great. But we have compressed output for linter errors. This works with all 26 languages now. It will check 26 languages, and it will check, in this case I have Biome and TSC, but it also has enough knowledge to check ESLint and Prettier if they exist, for any un-auto-fixable things. It will also run autofix when it can, because the linting is meant to be after you've made a change, check to see if that change passes snuff. It should run a full audit, assuming that in the case of Claude, it will automatically run the sub-agents to do a full audit after a change. But in VS Code, you have to specifically ask it to run the quality or audit subagent. Again, hopefully VS Code gets functionality to auto-run these at some point, because it's pretty obvious when I'm asking, like, hey, can you do a code quality review? Yeah, continue. Jeez. Again, I never use VS Code for when I'm testing this, so I'm actually curious. Was that its attempt at a compaction? Anyways, right now what we're doing is cleaning up. We're using some of the tools that we have to clean up TypeScript errors. So you'll see we have. Excuse me. Oh yeah, ran Semfora Engine lint, which gave us the type errors, and now I just want to go fix those. It's running lint one more time. Let's see what the output is. Empty. Cool. So VS Code has something that that Claude doesn't, and that it will automatically run the LSB server, which we're kind of already doing in the background for with Semfora Engine as well. But it seems to be, what was that? It seems to be working well together, even if it's doubling up on work. Still not sure what this is about. 34 problems found where? Let me keep all of these. Yeah. There's no BG linear 2BR. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, none of those are actual issues. Yeah. So it used the linter both before and after edits to check with Biome and TSE. Again, the whole point is making sure that the output on those things is compressed, so you're not wasting tokens reading, potentially hundreds or thousands of lines of Biome warnings. This project is relatively small. It's just a dumb website for Semfora, right? So it's not going to have a ton, but the fact that it does work, it does give you decent output. So it gives you both the code error, the file, the line number, the error. Yeah, it is useful. Again, we have human readable output as an option as well, but this is strictly for the MCP server when it runs like this. The limit here, that's just it should have just led with the default, which is also 50. I'm not sure why I needed to send that over, but that 50 is the count for the issues, not the. We toyed around with potential actual token count limits on the response, but that was too inconsistent, unfortunately. So yeah, we got to do what we got to do. Let me check my audio. How are we doing? Still doing good? Yeah. Cool. Let me make sure that my VS Code dot VS Code, and then I think I want the .github in there as well. .github. There's other shit in there, isn't there? No, maybe not. I should have checked out into a new branch for this, but docs. (0-7.7 dot data. Oh no, update CLI. Fixes type and biome. Cool. I'm curious what was so chunky on that upload. Nothing. Weird. Cool. This won't have automatically been pushed, but let me go check out semfora.com and its docs just to see where we're at. Cool. I'm going to GitHub and merge that in. Cool. I forgot that this had all the build configs as well. Nothing fun happening right now, but what I can do is I can show you guys the website while we're handling. This isn't the newest version, obviously, because I'm in the middle of deploying. I've moved entirely off of GitHub. Well, I'm still using GitHub for version control, but after its latest pricing or price hikes, I refuse to pay $200 a month just for me. Essentially, I have one buddy who also just occasionally looks at this. It was like something like $200 a month for us to run all of our CI and to deploy and do code audit and like code review stuff. So now I'm using Semfora in my own CI to do the code review and code blocking, and then it's auto updating and uploading via my Kubernetes server to Cloudflare. All of that. I have more control over the code quality, I think, about what can get through and what can't through my own linters and things like that. And then more importantly, I can do rollbacks much quicker and I'd say safer this way, especially with the versions. So I can suddenly roll back what is latest according to the like SH script. And then honestly, running the individual platform tests like Windows or the Mac OS, like that was, I think Mac OS was 10x minutes on GitHub Actions, there. I can just throw it at my Kubernetes server. It builds it builds in parallel with all the other things, and it takes no time at all. Cool. Yeah, I meant to run you through. So the website, we're going to be working on it a little bit today because it needs some love. But we have our CLI reference, which is about to get sent over, or just about to get updated. But each one of these uses the main commands. Again, we have new ones coming up with the latest version, which will be here soon. Security is gone, actually. I said that a couple of times, but the main ones are going to be analyze, search, query, validate. We have lint, and then the index is actually going to be moved to automatically. We'll still have index force, which is going to be to delete the previous index and rebuild it from scratch. But that will be heavily discouraged unless one doesn't exist. What we're going to do is we're going to build that. We're going to add incremental indexing to all of these instead. Actually, it's going to be to all of these, really. Not uninstall and config, but any of the normal run stuff, probably commit as well. And that incremental index, even on the massive 60 gig repositories, is, a second or two at most. In this small application, again, this is just a small website. But in this small application, it's a couple milliseconds. But all right, uploading the latest version. Benchmark needs to go away as well, actually. Benchmark is purely internal, now that I think of it. Add that to my to-do list. So the biggest one's going to be, we can actually probably combine setup and config. Serve, again, that is only for MCPs, but maybe useful to keep here. This one's one of the newer ones. Oh, maybe this is already up. Is it? Lint is here. Boom. Security is gone now, which is good. Now we have lint and test, which these are both going to detect what you have installed. If you don't have anything installed, it will recommend things to install based on your project, and then it'll run them when they are there. I'm still working on suggesting additional rules as well, especially for the linter. But yeah, these will say like, oh, we see that you have vi test installed. We're going to run all those tests. Or run them on the diff, which you can get here maybe. I just don't remember where we moved the diff. Is it only? One second. There we go. Okay, yeah. So it's a subcommand on things like analyze. So we have diff main, and that's saying like, okay, cool. Based on like diff the current state of the project against main or whatever subproject you want. We already track those things in layers as you're doing the analysis. So that should be available for everything. Let me check. Diff. I know it's not only available for analyze. I will add that to the to-do list as well. But anyways, onto the primary point here. We need to continue to test and update. Oh, that's wrong. Obviously, linting should be in quality. I would say testing as well should be in quality. I don't know why we explain this either. This is like, maybe you need to know what tools are available to you. but we shouldn't be recommending workflows. That is something that should be told through the instruction list that's passed through the MCP server. So when you run MCP serve, or Semfora Engine space serve, you would get this full list and when and where to use each of these things. Claude has a really neat thing that does MCP tool search, which means that we can actually pack a ton of context into this without it immediately flooding the token context window. So for things like VS Code, I think we have to keep these relatively small. But if we know that we're in Claude code, we can say, actually, we are just going to give the titles for these things with a brief, intro, and then it will pull the rest of the, usage info as it goes to use the thing. Maybe that's not a great idea. I don't know yet. We're going to figure it out. Yeah, this is all good. That's wrong. We have more, say 16 languages, yeah. The saying like languages, when you'll see 24 or 16 languages, it is because some things don't have tests, right? We do not run tests against CSS files. We do not run tests against HCL files for Terraform or something like that. We have linters across those in some cases, like we have Terraform lint rules. But we won't have Terraform tests in any way. Yeah. Anyways, I also realized that the padding on this is all sorts of jacked. So let's move you over here. And move you over here. We're going to get npm run dev. Now you're not going to see any code for right now. You're going to see the actual local site. Localhost 3000. Nope. That's the graph. You guys are curious what the graph looks like. That's what the graph looks like. Come on. Cool. Awesome. This entire thing needs to be moved down. That needs to be bumped up. So yeah, let's see how Claude Code does. Excuse me. Hi, Lorraine. Oh, hi, Lucas. It's disorienting because the stream is easily 5 minutes behind where Right, check out the stream health. Excellent. Can we do low latency? It is low latency. It's like 5 minutes behind what I'm actually doing. Anyways. All right, that extra bit of padding up there looks great. Check the docs. Documentation also looks way better. Let's make that left sidebar fixed though. Okay, looks much better. The public ones here. Yeah. Oh, graph needs to be public as well. Oops. I'll fix that later. Cool. Ooh, docs API. Just wait. This is so riveting, right? Just updating docs on a website. That's wrong though. Okay, I'll be right back, folks. We're back, folks. So annoying. This is all static as well. I need to make this dynamic. But we still got to decide if we're getting rid of get some UI bugs here. If we're getting rid of this page entirely, since CI is basically free. CVE is being hidden for now. I still want to work on it. It's just I need funding first. Okay, that's right. guys want to see it in action? This, because I want to do a code audit to see how we're doing. We're going to use the actual audit tooling. So if we go to audit, you I forgot that I don't have my tooling set up properly for VS Code. It didn't actually run these, did it? Is it hallucinating all of this? Or did it actually run these without telling me? So I know it's fast, but that was really fast. Did it actually run those? Those don't look like proper hashes. I think it actually hallucinated it running those. Like, those are right. But the hashes that it gave are definitely wrong. Those are way too short. I think it hallucinated running the tools. That would be wild. Like, that's wrong. Page doesn't have 0 callers. It should detect automatically that it's being called by the... Yeah, this looks way more realistic to me. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it just truncated these. Those don't... Maybe those are real hashes, but there's a lot of information in those hashes, and they have to be deduped. So it's possible that it was able to shorten them on such a simple project. That would be wild, because it ran that in no time at all. Let's see, page.tsx, cognitive complexity 127. Did it? Why did you fail? Yeah, because that is not... I don't know where it's getting those bad hashes from. It's funny, it stopped using Semfora, and it's having a hard as shit time Yeah, I ran validate. So where did it get page.tsx from here? It did. It completely fucking hallucinated that. That's hilarious. Oh, VS Code, man, you're killing me. Yeah, looking at index.tsx. Yeah, cognitive complexity is incredibly low because it's an incredibly simple page. I knew something felt weird about that. So in the first run, it definitely hallucinated basically everything. Although not everything, because it did catch that, like, I had some duplicates in UI patterns. Let's see what else it hallucinated on. Yeah, it just completely fucked up the original run. Hilarious. So was that a Claude Sonnet 4 issue? I mean, I'm using 4 and not Opus 4.5. So maybe that's something. But, ooh, Opus 4.5 is terrible here. I wonder if I can add my own. Move this over for a second. Okay. Moved over to my private key. All right. Can you use only Semfora? I want to see if it accurately grabs the new linter tools. Should get the context, get overview, yeah. Analyze, analyze, analyze. Running the lint. See what the output is here. Oh, we don't get to see the output live with still love the new linting code. It checks what tools you have available, and then we'll even recommend some if you don't have any installed. It's so good. All right, make major code paths in architecture. Mm-hmm. Did accurately grab all the variables without having to do a query, which is nice. Can I see the context usage here? No. So I'm just trying to check the token usage for this using Semfora. Oh, this is 8:45. What time is it right now? That's the most recent chat. I feel like I started a new chat for this one. You guys can see what the tool call output looks like for Semfora Engine, by the way, while we're scrolling through this. I could probably move validate into lint, right? Maybe. That's the response that I got. I'm trying to find the actual token usage here, though. That's right. Okay, completion tokens 9 is wrong. And that is the default value. Same with that. Going crazy here? Do we not list the total number of tokens used? Oh, here, prompt tokens, 2554. Total tokens, 2563. Let's say that is better. But again, I don't trust those numbers. Those look way too small for an entire code audit to me. Because I mean, this looked through every single function and variable in the code, every page, everything. So there's no way that that was only 2,500 tokens. Like, we do a lot of compression, but not that much, you know. Hmm. Okay, what's next? V0.7.7 beta is out. CLI and MCP references are updated with everything, including the new lint features. We should... Ooh, we're missing test here. Excuse me. We should get to maybe removing the pricing page, because again, CVE is going away. Like if you look at products, CVE was pretty prominent here. This was one of the only like largest paid features, but again, like I was able to build out the proof of concept here, but pulling in thousands of CVEs across all languages. And again, the thing is, we're not just looking at versions, we're actually finding, like, we have the ability to find actual code patterns that break security rules to say like, hey, you've passed in direct database functionality to the client via this path somehow, right? Or you've allowed users to pass unparsed or unfiltered data up to a database call. We can track those things back to front because we track entire applications back to front as long as you are running Semfora across both applications, or if you have a monorepo, obviously. But doing that for every one of the code-based, like code space-based CVEs for every language and every library, it is just so much work because we have to be able to like accurately and quickly find those. We need to generate examples of what they look like in different libraries and different functionalities and versions, etc. And then we create the shard versions of those things, and then those get side loaded into the engine. And then when you're doing the same comparison lookup, when you're looking for duplicate code, which again that found a bug in our website today, funny enough. When you're looking for that duplicate code, it will auto check for duplicates that match to some extent to that CVE code. So again, doing that for every language, every library, it just needs money and time. And they're just, even though that is an incredibly powerful tool to be able to do that without, to actually find security threats in real code without just building linter rules, but actually finding real ones. I think we do that better than anyone else. But again, we can't build it out to the way that I would actually charge someone for it yet. Yeah. Maybe if we found a sponsor like early on, or if we got investors, I would focus on this. I would probably hire like an entire team of staff to figure this out, because we already pull from like 9 different CVE sources. But building them out and making sure that the examples are accurate before we put them into our binaries is, it's just expensive. Anyways, so we're gonna hide this page, hide the pricing page. Maybe even hide the compare page, because again, this was, honestly, if we just throw like Code Rabbit on here and say we're not assholes, then we might win. But I actually think a code search for AI or code search is way better than I was able to see. I've only tested SourceGraph a little bit, but this is going away. This is still there. PM needs to go public still. GitHub is hidden for now. So much stuff to do. Okay. All right, let's keep on updating this. Oh yeah, we don't have any linters built into this yet. Okay. Okay. We really tested this 10 million node supported thing when we added variable tracking and then waited 4 hours for that new variable tracking to parse through on the Chromium repository. There were easily more than 10 million nodes. It did start to filter them, so I might need to change this claim a little bit because I tested it will process them, but obviously it's not properly rendering 10 million nodes, especially in the force graph. If you click the force graph, your computer's just going to delete itself. It's going to be banished to the shadow realm. All right. So pricing's gone. We have CI, which is still there. Thinking about getting rid of this one as well for now. I mean, it exists. It works. It's just slow right now. PM is currently listed as... Ooh, is PM open source? Should be. It is. Yeah, I think that is good enough for now. I mean, if we go back to Engine, which is... All right, let's go to the home page and see what we got. So if I go to dl.semfora.com again, dl.semfora.com. Yeah. sh install the since it auto detects this download for Linux, Windows, etc. Let's go here. This is not public. Slash. Nope. Releases/latest. No? I honestly don't remember what I did here. Nope. I will have to fix that later, but for now, I'm not going to do that. Auto defaults back to not using Semfora tools. So frustrating, just like Claude does. What's that? Ooh, it doesn't work. right back. Actually, I think I'm going to call it for tonight, folks. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. It's been a good couple of hours. See you all soon.